Hello traders, Rich here, and here is a quick but detailed update on MATIC. As usual, if you guys like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As you clearly see, we were previously overall bearish. The price was making lower highs and lower lows. Then price broke above our previous high, which is around here. Then the momentum is shifted from bearish to bullish. So we are currently overall bullish and looking for buy setups, especially at that the price also rejected this demand area, as you can see, 0.7, as we had an explosive movement outward from it. So what we know from daily time frame is that we are overall bullish. We had an impulse movement, a correction, and we are looking for the next impulse movement. If we zoom into H4 time frame, we can see that the price rejected our demand area, and I posted this analysis previously, like 2 or 3 months ago. We had this head and shoulders pattern, left, head, and right shoulder, and here's our neckline covering the entire structure. Price broke it upward, so this is a bullish reversal pattern, which means that now we are overall bullish, and since price is retesting our neckline, we'll be looking for buy setups on lower time frames, especially for those who didn't catch this trigger, which was the neckline break, right? We are overall bullish and looking for buy stop since we are retesting the neckline. Of course, unless we see a break below it, then a movement till our 0.7 would be expected, where we'll be looking for new buy setups to form. But let's take it step by step. Now we are looking for buy setups since price is around this area. If you zoom into M30 time frame, I also posted this picture analysis like last week, I guess, that we have a trend line and we are overall bearish from a short-term perspective, and we are waiting for price to form a new swing or a third swing around our red trend line to consider it valid, and then we'll be entering a buy if price breaks it upward. As you can see, price formed this swing, but we didn't have a break yet. So let's make a quick update. This is our trigger swing, and we are still waiting for a momentum candle close above it to which would be our trigger for a trend following setup. In this case, here we go. I just updated the analysis. The swing is still the same, but we are still waiting for a break above it. Meanwhile, and until this happens, until the buyers prove that they are taking over, we would be overall bearish, and MATIC can still break this area downward for a movement till the 0.7. But for now, as per the current market conditions, this is what I'm personally waiting for on MATIC. Before we continue, I want to tell you about MUDREX. MUDREX is one of the world's leading algo trading platforms. It has more than 30K registered users from 90 different countries, with over 2 billion total traded volume on the platform. It's very simple. When you log into your account, you go to Invest, Algo, and you've got over 300 different strategies to choose from. And you can also filter it through these features: top score, popular, and so on. You can click on them on any algo and you check the expected return, number of investors, and so on. So you click on it and check all the details to decide if it suits your risk appetite, personality, expectations, and so on. You can even build your own algo and monetize it to attract investors. But we'll talk about this in the next video. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using the links in the description below to get $25 sign-up bonus. And let's continue. As we clearly see, NZDUSD has been overall bearish for a while, making lower highs and lower lows, trading inside this giant falling channel, and where the upper trend line is acting as non-horizontal resistance and the lower bound or the lower trend line is acting as an oversold area or non-horizontal support. So now, as price is sitting around the upper bound or upper trend line, we'll be looking obviously for sell setups. So we've got this impulse, correction, impulse, and we are currently at the end of the correction movement. Of course, if we have a reversal from around this trend line, and of course, unless we have a break above this zone, which is this green area, as you can see, which would invalidate our trend line. In this case, the buyers would take over again, and we'll be looking for buy setups on the retest. But for now, let's take it step by step, right? And while looking for sell setups, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that we've got this impulse, correction, impulse, and now we've got a deeper correction, and price rejected this area. So now we're expecting, since we're around the resistance area, we're expecting an impulse like this, a correction which is now happening, and then another impulse to push price lower. And anyway, since we are around the resistance, we are looking for sell setups. If we zoom into H1 time frame, we can see that price, which we mentioned previously, we've got this impulse, correction, impulse, and a small correction, then price broke below the previous low. So now the sellers, we might have a potential reversal from bullish to bearish, right? And after this, like break below the previous low, price is retesting the zone again. So now we have two options, as mentioned previously, or a break above this area, or a trend continuation, which is this impulse, correction, and then impulse, which is our possible scenario that we are looking for sell setups. We've got this trend line, it's a valid trend line, so we're waiting for price to break below the previous low, because now clearly the buyers are taking over. Price is making higher highs and higher lows, and of course from a short-term perspective from each one. But we are looking for setups because we are around the resistance area, but we want the seller to take over again for extra confirmation to sell. We have a trend line, we have the swing, so we'll be waiting for price to break below it, so to prove to us that the sellers are taking over again. In this case, this would be our trigger, and when the sell is activated, the stop loss would be, and of course you can see it also from M30. Let me zoom in real quick. You can see this small trend line also, and when the sell is activated, as usual, the stop loss would be just above the previous high, which would be around this area, and we target a 2 to 1 reward ratio, which would be around 0.703. That's it for NZDUSD. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.